Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to the 2020 NOSSCAR Super GT Series. Started back last year in 2019, where Bill Baldwin won the championship with 7 victories on the season. This year, he's off to a terrific start. He won the Laguna Seca Grand Prix to begin the year. Pac-Man answered right back to win at Fuji International Speedway. But since then, Bill Baldwin has been on a tear, folks. 2 more wins for Bill and a podium finish. Tyler McMurder, the Canadian, shocked the NOSSCAR community by winning his first ever NOSSCAR Super GT Series event just last week at Monza. Tonight, we have round 6 of the 2020 NOSSCAR Super GT Series hosted right here on Gran Turismo Sport. It's the Sardegna Grand Prix. Strap yourselves in, sit back and relax, and enjoy the show. Watch the Toyota TS03s, the Porsche, the Audi R18, and several other cars compete here tonight. It's round 6. After tonight, 2 more races till we crown a 2020 NOSSCAR Super GT Series champion. The cars are out on the racetrack ready to go. It is round 6, folks, Sardegna Grand Prix. And as you can see, there are 10 drivers from 3 different countries on the track ready to take the green flag. The green lights will be on the board here in just a matter of moments. 13 drivers in total attempted to qualify their way into this race. 10 drivers making it into the show. It's JRB on the pole here at Sardegna. Now, keep in mind, folks, there are about 8 or 9 different layouts here on Gran Turismo Sport for this circuit, and we are going with the B layout. And a couple of these drivers very experienced on this surface, but there's a few drivers in the field that have never really been on this track, such as NASCAR Oof, Ty-Mac, the Canadian, Juicy J, Crazy Legs, and a couple of others. The green flag is in the air, round 6 of the 2020 season. Pac-Man with a big challenge to the outside. This is going into turn 1. It's a bit of a tight left-hander, and there's a big risk at stake if you overdrive it. There's a gravel trap waiting there for you. NASCAR Oof has gained a couple of spots since the start of this one. He's up to the 4th position. Bill Baldwin in 5th. Ty-Mac, the Canadian, was able to get around the Brazilian Luciano, who now runs in the 7th position. Back up towards the front, it's Pac-Man, JRB, Flyer Fanatic. We have not seen very much of Flyer yet here in the NOSSCAR Super GT Series, but the little glimpses we have seen of him, it's very quick, and he lays down quick lap times, always finishes near the front, and always runs near the front in the test sessions for the races that he doesn't even end up entering and registering for. Battle for 4th and 5th is on, and NASCAR Oof is off the racetrack and into the gravel trap. He's going to lose a couple of positions there. Bill's going to move up into 4th. The Canadian Ty-Mac is now up into 5th. The Brazilian Luciano Luck is up into the 6th position. Juicy J in the Red Bull car runs in 7th. And there you see Oof. That's Jesse Carlson running in 8th position, trying to gain back some of the time that he just lost. And back up to the front. Pac-Man leading the way. See, JRB won the pole, and Pac-Man showing power right off the hop and able to take the lead early in the going on lap 1, and he's gapped JRB just a little bit. Keep in mind the tire wear might come into effect as the race goes along. It's quite possible Pac-Man may be burning the rubber up a little bit on that car, a little bit more than JRB is. These are 15-minute races, folks. Defending champion Bill Baldwin. Off to a terrific start this season, I'll tell you. 3 wins. in the first 5 races and comes into round 6 as the points leader over Pac-Man. Pac-Man in second in the point standings, leading this race. So I'm sure Bill is a little bit eager to try to get up there towards the front. He's outside of the podium right now, and that's a little bit unlike him. A couple of new faces here trying to take the podium spot. The battle for 5th is on, folks. The Brazilian driver, Luciano, is going to take P5 away from the Canadian, Timac. A Brazilian driver has never parked it in victory lane or on the podium here in the NOSSCAR Super GT Series, so Brazilian fans, I'm sure, are rooting for Luciano at this point. He's up into the 5th position in the Audi R18, and he's looking strong here early in the going. Timac seems to be struggling a little bit at this racetrack, and this is his first time coming to this circuit and logging laps in a league race or a race of any kind, and he's not really up into his groove there at this point, running in the 6th position. Remember, he shocked the NOSSCAR community by winning the Monza Grand Prix just last week here in the NOSSCAR Super GT Series. That, of course, was his first win in this series, and it's his only, his only NOSSCAR series that he was winless in. It involves 4-wheeled racing vehicles, if you will. Well, the NOSSCAR Supercross series he's still winless in, but that series has since then been retired. So, Timac's done an excellent job getting himself in position to perhaps win this championship, but he's got to run down Pac-Man and Bill Baldwin in the point standings if he's going to do that. And as of right now, those 2 drivers running in 1st and 4th, so no ground gained for Timac at this point. The battle for 3rd is going to heat up a little bit if it stays this way. In fact, the drivers running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Still pretty much even Steven here. JRB, Flyer, Fanatic, Bill Baldwin all running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Flyer putting the Porsche to good use. And Bill Baldwin got his left sides over into the gravel trap just a little bit, and that's actually going to allow Luciano, the Brazilian, to close back in just a little bit, and Timac, the Canadian, there as well. A little bit further behind them is the Red Bull machine of Juicy J. You can see the other cars still in the frame every now and then just in front of him, so he's not quite out of this thing either. But it's a bit of a gap back to NASCAR Oof running in the 8th position. Vince is running in 9th. Crazy Legs rounds out the top 10. Pac-Man won round 2 of the 2020 season. That came back at Fuji International Speedway, and it was a good way for him to even it up with Pac-Man. Bill Baldwin. Bill won the opener, season opener, Laguna Seca, so Pac-Man answered right back. Since then, he's not found victory lane, but he's found the podium top 3 stage at the end of the race a couple of times, and it's put him comfortably into the 2nd position in point standings. And if everybody were to finish where they are right now, Pac-Man would actually be your new points leader. And he's getting a little bit out of shape there. It's actually the same corner that Bill Baldwin overdrove a bit and found the gravel trap, and he finds the gravel trap again, folks. JRB is actually going to take the race lead. Flyer Fanatic is going to take 2nd. How about that? The pole sitter back out front. Oh, and I believe Flyer Fanatic and Pac-Man both went through the grass coming out of the final corner. They're both going to get given the half-second penalty there, as you can see. They're driving it for all it's worth. They're trying to run back down JRB if they can help it, but they're also trying to battle with each other for the 2nd and 3rd positions. The battle for 4th is still red hot. They're all going around Crazy Legs, who's in the 10th position, going 1 lap down. Bill in 4th, Luciano from Brazil in 5th, and Timac, the Canadian, runs in 6th. It's a bit of a heartbreaker there for Pac-Man. He was closing in on what would be his 2nd win of the season, but he's going to have a little bit of work to do if he's going to do that. We're nearing the halfway mark of this race, and he's going to have to run down Flyer Fanatic, and then he's going to have to run down his good buddy JRB. JRB actually looking for his first win of the 2020 NOSSCAR Super GT Series season. He's got wins back in 2019 in this series. Comes into tonight 4th in the point standings. Closest battle to the leader is the battle for second. It looks like Pac-Man's a little bit quicker than Flyer Fanatic at this point, but he's having a tough time clearing the driver there in the Audi. Excuse me, the Porsche, rather. Bill Baldwin has begun to gap the drivers just behind him a little bit, and we actually should mention Luciano Luck out of Brazil has actually started to make a couple of errors back-to-back, and he has lost ground to the race leaders, and he was up there running in the 5th position when he had those issues, and he's dropped a couple of spots. Juicy J out of the United States was able to work his way by him in the Red Bull car, and Timac, the Canadian, in the Audi R18 was able to work his way by as well. And still the closest battle on the racetrack for position, especially up towards the leader, is this one right here for second and third. We saw Flyer Fanatic go through the grass again, coming through that final corner, and as you can see, he is going to get given the half-second penalty, and now these drivers need to kill these penalties by lifting a little bit sooner going into these corners. There you see he did that, but he's going to surrender the second position to Pac-Man as a result. Question is, does Pac-Man have enough time to chase down his good buddy JRB to battle for the win here in round 6 of the 2020 NOSSCAR Super GT Series season? Hosted right here on Gran Turismo Sport, the Sardegna Grand Prix, folks. Here you see JRB heading into the right-hander. There you see Pac-Man doing the same. So the gap is not an impossible one, but he is going to have to start running quicker lap times than JRB if he's going to run him down. They're coming up on Vince, who runs in the 9th position, to put him 1 lap down. And all the battling for second and third has actually allowed Bill Baldwin to close up on the 2 drivers running in second and third, and that's what makes Bill the defending champion, the 2019 NOSSCAR Super GT Series champion. He knows how to get the job done. He's got 10 wins in his NOSSCAR Super GT Series career. Most all time. And it's for reasons like this, folks, and the championships is definitely for this. He's just always smooth and consistent. It's always right there. Even if he makes a couple of errors early, he tends to rally back and put a lot of laps in a row that are clean and fast and efficient. And while the other drivers are busy amongst themselves battling for position, he tends to do what we're watching him do right now. He runs down the drivers in front of him, leaves the drivers behind them, gains a couple of spots, and salvages a pretty good day out of a day that appears to be average in the beginning, and then he salvages a great day, most times parking it in victory lane, when a day opens off strong and good. JRB leads, Pac-Man in second, Flyer Fanatic in third, Bill Baldwin in fourth, Timac out of Canada rounding out the top 5. 4 Americans taking up the top 4 positions. And the battle for 6th is on. The Porsche. Luciano out of Brazil takes the position from Juicy J, the Red Bull car, so put Juicy back in to the 7th position, and there's Jesse Carlson running in 8th, and he's actually gaining ground on both of those cars just in front of him. Juicy J takes the position back from Luciano going into turn 1. Tell you what, these two are not quitting. They're coming up on Vince, who's running in the 9th position. He's 1 lap down, so his car is going to go transparent, and these drivers are able to go right through him. It's an option that Gran Turismo Sport allows everybody to have when they go to host one of these lobbies, and it's just a safe way to go about things. Make sure there's no controversy, no accidents involving the leaders, and no chance for controversy in that way. Oh, Luciano got close to the gravel trap. He nicked it a little bit, actually, with the right side tires. Now the left sides get into the grass just a little bit. And Jesse Carlson closing in. Juicy J getting away. That's with the battle for the 3rd and 4th positions. Looks like the final spot on the podium for the top 3 at the end of the race. Flyer Fanatic trying to hold on. Get his first career podium here in the NOSSCAR Super GT Series, and to do so he's got to hold off the defending NOSSCAR Super GT champ, and that is Bill Baldwin. Not an easy task any day of the week or any car here on Gran Turismo Sport. JRB still leads the way, and Pac-Man still runs in second. The gap is still pretty much about the same, folks. JRB putting on a great pace here, even late in the race, so you can tell that he was really managing his tires. There was a time when Pac-Man was leading. JRB was slowly losing him, and I alluded to the theory, really, that maybe he's just conserving his tires. He knows it's a 15-minute race with no pit stops, and could be the case, folks, because now here late in the race, after Pac-Man's couple of errors, he's having a tough time running down the race leader as they go by. Crazy Legs. Crazy goes a second lap down. Woo. They use every inch of this racetrack, looking for every bit of speed that they can. Flyer Fanatic came close to getting the right sides off the track there, trying to get away from Bill Baldwin, but the draft is pretty powerful here for Gran Turismo, especially in these cars at these high speeds that they can get. So whenever they do come to a straightaway, Bill will be able to stay with Flyer Fanatic just a little bit. However, that dirty air really does make the car behind the front car get a little bit looser and a little bit more out of shape when they're coming up to try to set themselves up to complete a pass. So it's a catch-22, really. The draft will help you, but the dirty air won't. Problems for Luciano. He was up there in the 6th position, and he was battling good there with Juicy J out of the United States for it, but he's went off course back there a couple of turns ago. Oh, and he's off course again, and there was actually contact with the wall. He's going to be okay. He's still going in the right direction and still going at a pretty good speed, but that's going to wear the tires out on the right side just a little bit and damage the race car. And the battle for 6 looks like this. Because of that, Juicy J is driven away, and Jesse Carlson right there with him. Tough break for the driver out of Brazil. He now runs in 8th, and he at one point was up there in the 5th position looking for his first career podium. Smooth sailing for JRB. Ooh, as soon as I say that, the right sides go into the grass just a little bit, but he's going to be all right. He comes around out of the final corner and down the straightaway. He wins the Sardegna Grand Prix here on Gran Turismo Sport. First win of the 2020 season here for the NOSSCAR Super GT Series. Pac-Man gets 2nd. Flyer Fanatic gets his first podium in 3rd. Bill Baldwin finishes in 4th. And the Canadian Timac will round out the top 5. Juicy J is going to hold on for the 6th position over Jesse Carlson. And there's Luciano out of Brazil finishing in 8th. Vince finishes in 9th. Crazy Legs will round out the top 10. 13 drivers from 4 countries attempted to qualify their way into this race. 10 drivers officially entered the race, and at the end of it all, it was JRB. First win of the season, and this definitely helps him in the point standings. This catapults him up to 3rd in the current standings with 2 races left on the schedule. Thank you, everybody who joined us. This has been round 6 of the 2020 NOSSCAR Super GT Series, hosted right here on Gran Turismo Sport. We hope that you enjoyed the broadcast, and catch us next week at the Nürburgring Grand Prix, folks. It's going to be a good one. 13 drivers attempted to qualify their way in for that event as well. Good night, everybody, and once again, congratulations to JRB.